There comes a quiet season in every life when you realize that the loudest people are not always the happiest, and the busiest lives are not always the most meaningful. The world constantly tells you to announce every goal, defend every decision, and respond to every opinion. But real power has never needed a microphone. It grows in the unseen hours, in the mornings when no one is watching, in the choices you make when there is no applause waiting for you. The moment you stop chasing attention and begin chasing your own growth, something remarkable begins to happen. Your mind becomes clearer, your heart grows lighter, and the obstacles that once seemed impossible begin to lose their power. You discover that silence is not emptiness. It is the place where confidence is built, wisdom is born, and purpose quietly takes root. Today, we're going to uncover why focusing on yourself and embracing the strength of silence can transform your life in ways you never imagined. Because sometimes the greatest breakthrough doesn't come from saying more. It comes from becoming more. There is a quiet freedom that enters your life the moment you stop feeling responsible for making everyone understand you. Too often, people spend precious years explaining their dreams, defending their choices, and seeking permission to become who they were meant to be. But every minute spent convincing someone else is a minute taken away from building yourself. Your future does not depend on how many people believe in your vision. It depends on whether you have the courage to keep walking even when no one applauds. The strongest roots grow beneath the surface, hidden from the eyes of the world, yet they are the very reason a tree can stand through every storm. Actions have a remarkable way of speaking long after words have faded. Anyone can promise change, but only discipline can reveal it. Instead of telling people that you are working harder, let your results introduce the new version of you. Instead of announcing every goal, quietly take one more step toward it each day. The world is filled with voices making declarations, but it will always stop and notice a life that reflects consistency. A peaceful spirit, a steady heart, an unwavering commitment create a testimony that no speech can equal. There will always be people who misunderstand your silence. Some will think you have become distant. Others may assume you have given up because they can no longer see every move you make. Do not let those assumptions distract you. Not everyone is meant to understand your journey while you are living it. Some stories make sense only after the chapters have been completed. Your responsibility is not to satisfy every opinion, but to remain faithful to the purpose that has been placed within you. Silence is often the shield that protects your focus from the noise of unnecessary judgment. Growth asks for patience more than attention. The greatest transformations rarely happen overnight. They are built through ordinary moments, repeated with extraordinary commitment. Every book you read, every skill you practice, every healthy choice you make, and every obstacle you overcome adds another stone to the foundation of your future. While others are busy seeking recognition, you are quietly becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. One day, people will notice the difference, but by then, their approval will no longer be the reason you continue. Never underestimate the power of becoming instead of explaining. Life has a beautiful way of rewarding those who remain faithful to their own path. Keep your heart humble, your mind focused, and your spirit anchored in hope. Let kindness shape your character. Let discipline guide your decisions, and let perseverance become your daily companion. The life you are creating deserves your full attention, not endless explanations. When your actions consistently reflect your values, your confidence grows from within, and your purpose becomes impossible to hide. In time, your quiet dedication will speak louder than any words ever could, proving that the most powerful introduction to the world is not what you say about yourself, but the person you choose to become every single day. The world has a way of pulling your attention in 100 different directions. Every day, there's another argument asking for your opinion, another distraction promising quick happiness, and another voice telling you how you should live your life. If you try to answer every call, you will eventually lose the ability to hear your own. That is why one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the courage to step away from unnecessary noise. Not because you are afraid of the world, but because you value your purpose more than its distractions. A focused mind becomes a powerful mind, and a peaceful heart becomes a place where extraordinary ideas can grow. There's a difference between being informed and being consumed. You do not have to carry every burden that passes in front of you. You do not have to react to every rumor or defend yourself against every misunderstanding. Some battles are designed to steal your energy, not strengthen your character. Wisdom teaches you to recognize the difference. Every time you refuse to participate in needless conflict, you are making room for something greater. You are creating space for creativity, healing, learning, and growth. The life you dream about requires energy, and that energy should be invested where it creates lasting value. Many people never discover their true potential because they spend too much time comparing their journey with someone else's. Comparison is a quiet thief that steals gratitude and replaces it with doubt. It convinces you that you are behind, that your progress is too slow, or that your gifts are too small. But every flower blooms in its own season, and every sunrise arrives at the perfect moment. Your path was never meant to look like another person's story. The only life you are responsible for improving is your own. When you stop measuring your worth against others, you begin to appreciate the unique strengths that have been growing inside you all along. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It is an act of wisdom. Not every invitation deserves your presence, and not every conversation deserves your attention. Some environments nourish your spirit, while others slowly drain your hope. Choose carefully where you invest your time, because your surroundings shape your thinking more than you realize. Walk with people who inspire honesty, discipline, kindness, and courage. Spend time in places that remind you of possibility instead of fear. The more you guard your environment, the stronger your character becomes, and the easier it is to remain faithful to your goals. As you continue to remove unnecessary noise from your life, you will notice something beautiful beginning to happen. Your decisions become clearer because they are no longer influenced by constant confusion. Your confidence grows because it is rooted in quiet preparation instead of public approval. Your dreams become stronger because they are fed by consistent effort rather than empty conversation. One day you will look back and realize that your greatest breakthrough did not begin with a loud announcement or a dramatic moment. It began with a simple choice to protect your focus, honor your peace, and believe that the person you were becoming was worth more than all the noise you chose to leave behind. There comes a moment when you realize that not every misunderstanding needs to be corrected, and not every criticism deserves a response. For too long, many people exhaust themselves trying to prove their worth to those who have already decided not to see it. They explain, argue, defend, and justify, hoping that one more conversation will finally earn the respect they seek. But peace begins the day you understand that your value is not determined by another person's opinion. Your character is built by the choices you make when no one is cheering for you. The strongest souls are not those who win every argument, but those who know which arguments are not worth entering. A calm heart carries a strength that anger can never imitate. When someone speaks with bitterness, you have the choice to answer with the same spirit or to remain grounded in wisdom. Remaining calm does not mean you are weak. It means you have learned that your emotions should serve your purpose instead of controlling it. Storms may shake the branches of a tree, but they cannot uproot it if its roots run deep. In the same way, people may question you, criticize you, or misunderstand your intentions. But if your heart is rooted in truth, their words cannot define your future. They may create noise around you, but they do not have to create chaos within you. Pride often whispers that you must always have the last word. It convinces you that silence is surrender and that walking away means you have lost. Yet wisdom teaches something entirely different. Sometimes the greatest victory is leaving a conversation with your peace still intact. Every unnecessary conflict asks you to exchange your joy for a temporary feeling of being right. But what does it truly profit you if you win an argument while losing your inner peace? There is a quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are without needing to announce it. That confidence cannot be shaken by disagreement because it has already found its foundation within. Purpose has a remarkable way of making distractions seem smaller. When your heart is devoted to becoming a better person, you begin to notice how many things once demanded your attention without deserving it. You stop chasing every opinion because your vision has become clearer than the voices around you. You no longer feel compelled to defend every decision because your actions speak with greater honesty than your explanations ever could. Day by day, your energy shifts away from proving yourself and toward improving yourself. That simple change transforms not only your habits, but also your future. As you continue walking this path, people may wonder why you have become quieter. They may expect the old version of you to react, to argue, or to seek approval. Instead, they will meet someone whose strength is wrapped in patience and whose confidence is expressed through consistent action. Your peace will become your greatest testimony. Your kindness will become your quiet power. Your steady focus will open doors that force never could. In time, you will discover that life falls into place not because you fought every battle, but because you chose the ones that truly mattered. When your purpose becomes greater than your pride, and your peace becomes more valuable than proving yourself, you begin to live with a freedom that no criticism can steal and no obstacle can silence. The greatest achievements are rarely born from a single extraordinary day. They are built through countless ordinary moments that most people overlook. A person does not become wise after reading one book, nor does a strong character emerge from one difficult experience. Greatness is shaped by what you choose to do repeatedly, especially on the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. It is easy to feel inspired when everything is going well, but real transformation happens when you continue moving forward despite fatigue, disappointment, or uncertainty. Every quiet effort you make today becomes another brick in the foundation of the life you are creating. The world often celebrates dramatic success, while ignoring the years of quiet preparation behind it. People notice the harvest, but they rarely see the seasons of planting, watering, and waiting. They admire confidence without witnessing the moments of self-doubt that had to be overcome. They applaud victory without understanding the countless mornings when someone chose discipline over comfort. Never allow yourself to be discouraged because your progress seems invisible. Some of the most meaningful work in your life will happen where no audience can see it. Just because others cannot measure your growth does not mean it is not taking place. Every small promise you keep to yourself strengthens something far more valuable than your reputation. It strengthens your character. When you wake up and choose to honor your commitments, even in the smallest ways, you teach your mind that your word has meaning. Whether it is reading a few pages, learning a new skill, exercising for a short time, or simply refusing to give up when the day feels difficult, these choices may appear insignificant on their own. Yet when repeated consistently, they become habits, and habits quietly shape destiny. Your future is not decided by occasional moments of brilliance, but by daily moments of faithfulness. There will be days when it feels as though nothing is changing. You may question whether your effort is worth it because the results have not yet appeared. In those moments, remember the seed beneath the soil. Long before it breaks through the surface, it is developing roots strong enough to support future growth. If it demanded visible progress every day, it would never become the tree it was created to be. Your own journey follows the same rhythm. Some seasons are meant for visible achievement, while others are meant for invisible preparation. Both are equally important, and neither should be rushed. So keep showing up with a faithful heart, even when no one notices your efforts. Continue choosing integrity when shortcuts seem easier. Continue learning when others have stopped growing. Continue believing in your purpose when the path feels long and uncertain. One day, the life you have quietly built will speak with a strength that words cannot imitate. People may call it luck, talent, or perfect timing, but you will know the truth. It was the result of steady choices made day after day, year after year. When you remain committed to the process instead of chasing immediate recognition, you discover that consistency possesses a quiet power capable of accomplishing what attention alone never could. One of the most beautiful changes that happens when you choose to focus on yourself is that your relationships begin to change without you forcing them to. You stop trying to be everything for everyone, and instead you become the best version of yourself. In doing so, you naturally attract people who appreciate honesty, kindness, and authenticity. The need to impress begins to disappear because you realize that the right people are not looking for a performance. They are looking for someone who is genuine. Your silence becomes a quiet invitation for people who value substance over appearance, character over charm, and integrity over empty promises. Not everyone is meant to walk beside you forever, and there is wisdom in accepting that truth with grace. Some people enter your life to encourage your growth, while others arrive to teach you lessons about boundaries, resilience, and self-respect. Holding on to every relationship out of fear only delays the peace that comes from letting life unfold naturally. Just as trees release their leaves when the season changes, you must be willing to release connections that no longer help you become the person you are striving to be. Letting go is not always an act of loss. Sometimes it is an act of making room for something better. When you stop chasing approval, something remarkable begins to happen. Those who only valued your attention slowly drift away because they can no longer control your direction. At first, this change may feel lonely, but loneliness is often the bridge that leads to deeper self-discovery. In those quiet moments, you begin to understand your own heart. You learn what truly matters, what deserves your energy, and what no longer belongs in your life. Solitude is not your enemy. It is often the classroom where wisdom gently teaches the lessons that constant company never could. The people who truly belong in your life will never require you to abandon your values in order to keep their affection. They will celebrate your growth instead of feeling threatened by it. They will encourage your dreams instead of questioning every step you take. They will respect your quiet seasons because they understand that growth often happens in silence. Healthy relationships are built on trust, mutual respect, and sincere encouragement, not on constant explanations or endless demands for attention. When someone values who you are becoming, they will not compete with your peace, they will contribute to it. As your journey continues, you will realize that your greatest strength has never been the number of people surrounding you, but the quality of the hearts walking beside you. A few sincere companions are worth more than a crowd that only appears when life is easy. Treasure those who speak truth with kindness, who stand beside you during difficult seasons, and who inspire you to become wiser, stronger, and more compassionate. Continue protecting your peace, continue guarding your heart with wisdom, and continue allowing your life to reflect quiet confidence. In time, you will discover that silence has a remarkable way of revealing who is genuine and who is only passing through. The right people will never be drawn to the noise you create. They will be drawn to the character you consistently live, and that kind of connection becomes one of life's greatest blessings. There will be seasons in your life when nothing seems to be changing. You wake up early, you work with honesty, you stay committed to your goals, and yet the results appear distant. It is during these quiet seasons that many people lose heart. They begin to believe that their efforts have been wasted simply because they cannot immediately see the reward. But life has never measured progress only by what is visible. Some of the greatest changes happen beneath the surface, where patience is strengthening your spirit, discipline is refining your character, and faith is teaching you to keep moving without the comfort of instant success. What you cannot see today may be preparing you for opportunities you could never have imagined yesterday. Nature reminds us that every meaningful creation follows a process. The river does not carve its way through stone in a single day. It shapes mountains through steady persistence. The dawn does not arrive all at once. It slowly replaces the darkness until the world is filled with light. In the same way, your future is being formed by the quiet decisions you make every single day. Every page you read, every healthy habit you choose, every temptation you resist, and every act of kindness you offer becomes part of a masterpiece that is still unfolding. Never underestimate the power of small, faithful actions repeated over time. They may seem insignificant in the moment, but together they possess the strength to transform an entire life. The greatest danger is not failure. The greatest danger is abandoning your journey because you mistake silence for emptiness. Just because life is quiet does not mean nothing is happening. A musician spends countless hours practicing before stepping onto a stage. An artist creates hundreds of unseen sketches before revealing a masterpiece. Every remarkable achievement carries a hidden history of preparation that few people ever witness. Your own life is no different. The days that seem ordinary are often the ones shaping the extraordinary future waiting just beyond the horizon. Trust that every challenge is teaching you something you will one day be grateful to know. There will also be voices that encourage you to take shortcuts. They will promise quicker success, easier paths, and immediate recognition. Yet shortcuts often steal the very lessons that build lasting strength. A life built too quickly can collapse just as quickly because it lacks a solid foundation. True success is not simply reaching the destination. It is becoming the kind of person who can carry success with humility, wisdom, and grace. Every obstacle you overcome prepares your heart to handle greater responsibilities. Every delay develops patience that prosperity alone could never teach. The process is not standing in your way, it is becoming your way. So keep believing, even when your eyes cannot yet see the full picture. Continue planting seeds of discipline, compassion, courage, and hope, trusting that each one will bear fruit in its proper season. Refuse to let temporary discouragement convince you that your journey has lost its purpose. The path may feel long, but every faithful step is bringing you closer to the person you are destined to become. One day, when you look back, you will realize that the moments you once questioned were the very moments that shaped your greatest strength. Everything that seemed slow was preparing you to stand firm, and everything that felt hidden was quietly guiding your life into perfect alignment. The most important victory you will ever win is not over another person. It is the victory you achieve within yourself. The world often teaches us to measure success by what we own, the titles we earn, or the recognition we receive. Yet none of those things can bring lasting peace if your own mind is filled with doubt, fear, and confusion. A person who has mastered their thoughts can remain steady in the middle of uncertainty. They are not easily shaken by praise, nor are they defeated by criticism. Their confidence is not borrowed from the opinions of others. It is built through the quiet knowledge that they have become someone they can trust. Mastering yourself begins with mastering your thoughts. Every day, your mind presents you with two paths. One path is filled with excuses, resentment, and fear. The other is built on gratitude, discipline, and hope. The direction of your life is determined by the path you choose most often. Negative thoughts may arrive without invitation, but they do not have to become permanent residents in your heart. You have the power to replace doubt with faith, anger with understanding, and worry with purposeful action. The greatest freedom is realizing that while you cannot control every circumstance, you can always choose the spirit in which you meet it. As your mind becomes stronger, your decisions naturally become wiser. You no longer rush into opportunities simply because they look impressive. You begin to ask whether they align with your values and your purpose. You stop making choices based on temporary emotions and start making them based on lasting principles. This kind of wisdom protects you from many unnecessary regrets. It teaches you that saying no to what distracts you is often just as important as saying yes to what inspires you. Every thoughtful decision becomes another step toward a life that reflects intention instead of impulse. Something else begins to change as well. Your relationships become healthier because you no longer seek people to complete you. Instead, you meet them from a place of wholeness. You listen more than you argue. You forgive more than you resent. You encourage more than you compete. The peace you have cultivated within yourself begins to overflow into the lives of those around you. Others feel safe in your presence because your strength is no longer rooted in pride, but in compassion. You discover that real influence does not come from controlling people. It comes from living with such integrity that your example quietly inspires them to grow. Then, almost without realizing it, life begins to align in ways that once seemed impossible. The confusion that once clouded your judgment starts to fade. The doors that truly belong in your journey begin to open, while the ones meant to distract you quietly close. You recognize opportunities that you would have overlooked before because your vision is no longer blurred by desperation or fear. This does not mean life becomes free of challenges. Storms will still come, and difficult seasons will still test your resolve. But now you face them with a heart that has learned patience, a mind that has embraced wisdom, and a spirit that refuses to surrender. When you master yourself, you stop chasing a perfect life and begin creating a meaningful one. In that quiet transformation, you discover that everything does not fall into place by accident. It falls into place because you finally became the person who was prepared to receive it.